Yes, well, the cinemas in South Africa were always, of course, segregated like everything else. There were black cinemas and white cinemas. And among the black cinemas, there were cinemas which were regarded as being for coloreds and Indians, and ones for Africans. The ones for coloreds and Indians being in the areas where the coloreds and Indians lived, like, say, Fortsburg in Johannesburg. And they were not very keen on having Africans going to their cinemas. The thing being that, I mean, we wanted to go to their cinemas because they got the films earlier and they were, than the African cinemas, and they were more comfortable cinemas. But I mean, South Africa's segregation or racialism, if you like, was such that there's African at the bottom of the heap, then the coloreds and the Indians and the whites at the top. And the coloreds and Indians didn't want this particularly in their cinemas because we were sort of downgrading their cinemas. And so we always got the worst seats in their cinemas. Whatever you paid, you sat right at the front, the first few front rows. You have to stare up at the screen, you know. But they didn't actually stop us. And obviously, of course, they were much more expensive than the African cinemas in the townships, where I can remember as a kid, you know, 6pence or 9pence, whatever it was then, to go and see a double feature with a serial, which is very good. In those days, of course, I didn't attempt to go to the colored or Indian cinemas because they were a long way from where I lived. And you know, so far our cinemas in the townships was Monday and Tuesday you have the same double feature and serial. Wednesday, Thursday a different double feature and serial. Friday, Saturday another one. So you could, if you had the money and the time, you could see 6 movies in a week and 3 different serials.
Do you remember the names of any of the cinemas at that time?
Yes. When I was a kid, when I lived in Pretoria, the cinema, I lived in a township called Lady Selborne, and the cinema there were 2 cinemas. One was the Coronation Cinema, and the other one, I can't remember its name, quite close to each other, and you'd get queues, you know, so for the matinee. Little kids who've either ducked out of school or at the end of their school period, queuing there, and some didn't have enough money. And when the first film had started, you know, you go up to the box office and say, you know, look, I'm short 2pence or 3pence, you know, can you let me in? And say, well, you can come in after the first film, you know, you get cut price entrance then. And then in Johannesburg, this is when I was a student and when I was working in Johannesburg, there were the cinemas in the townships, like for instance in Sophiatown, which had the first, you know, sort of good in terms of comfort cinema, which is called the Odeon in Sophiatown. And there were a couple of others which are still pretty real slum cinemas. There was one called Balansky's, where, you know, sort of amongst other things, that it had a gallery at the back for the cheaper seats, and the people up there, you know, sort of all the ruffians throw bottles or cans down, or even pass water on the people sitting below them. And it had one of the nasty things about that cinema was that at the intermission, you wouldn't see the second feature until the owner decided he sold enough soft drinks. You know, you get intermission 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, so, and people shouting, come on, we want to see the next movie. You know, so, and then, of course, in the colored and Indian areas, they had much more posh cinemas, if you like. You know, so properly ranked seats, so that you didn't have to look around people's heads to see the screen. And these are the ones where we were not encouraged to go.